All right, looks like we're live this morning, November 3rd. It's a Wednesday. Uh, I did miss yesterday's stream. I got to apologize. I wasn't, I think I just needed some catch up on some sleep. I was sick all week last week, and I don't know. Yesterday, I just could not wake up, but feeling great this morning. Got some coffee in me. Ready for another good day in the markets. I don't know if you guys noticed the title of the video a little bit different, but I'm focusing on the meme stocks today. Had some nice pops yesterday, and if I was gonna even look for any day trade opportunities or anything like that, I think it's gonna come from there. But I'll also talk about some other stuff that came up on the scanner too. But my watch list today is gonna be, Gamestop, AMC, BlackBerry, and also Bed Bath and Beyond had some movement yesterday, along with some other ones. But we'll talk about all that in a second. Josh Stewart, what's up? Good morning. Brian Sanders, 6'8" Spindrift, good hump day morning. Risky Seeds, what's up? Got Joseph and Scott in the house. Good morning. Hope everyone has a great day. JJ. Paul Jones, what's up? Good morning. So man, yesterday was pretty nuts. Let's see here. I'll just pull up GME first because I know I was watching GameStop. I've still been invested for a while, but I'm gonna go to a kind of a longer view. So GameStop actually started popping a little bit on Monday. Ran from 182 to a high of 208. Came back down to about 200. Yesterday we saw it hit as high as 212, but in after hours ran up and touched 227. So that's one that I'll definitely be watching. GameStop, if we come back, and I know everybody is familiar with the previous run, way back here, but it's came up and touched 350 twice. And both times I remember, actually watching the ticker those days, just got the rug pulled right at 350. Every time it's kind of crossed above this 50-day moving average is when we've seen the start of some of these spikes again here. And last time it wasn't a huge pop, but it went from 185 up to 225. And then now we're looking at, back this up. Looks like it's heading on another run here again. I'm just gonna kind of see what happens when it gets past this level. And really, my plan with GameStop for the longest time has been, let's see what happens if it gets back up here to this 350 level. If it gets up here and catches resistance and starts falling down, I'm probably gonna cut my position completely. And look to buy back in down the road when it drops back down here, or if it blasts through, see how far it can go. But this is one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on closely in the coming days. And they all move together. We saw, so that was GameStop. Actually, while I have it up, so volume on this thing's been picking up a little bit too. 5 million on Monday, 3.8 million yesterday. But compared to more recently, it's been trading like more in the 1 million range. There was even a couple of days where it got under a million, 818,000 volume back on October 8th. So it's been seeing volume dry up, and now to see it start pouring in, and if we start seeing like some FOMO coming into this too, again, I have no idea how high it can go or if it's even gonna go, but I'm excited. I grabbed some GME calls yesterday too, just to get a little bit more skin in the game in case it does take off. And they're actually not that expensive right now. I mean, IV on let me see here. anytime you're trading with a stock that expensive, share price wise, it's going to be a lot. But IV on GME still only like 90%, which is extremely low. This week's chain might be a little bit higher. I think it's at, where we at right now, 128. But that's nothing for GME, and I'll go over some of the gamma related stuff that's going on with that one too right now, or in a little bit. But AMC saw basically the same kind of price action. This is going back to Friday, 34 to 36, Monday, 35 up to 37, and then yesterday dipped down early to 36, finished the day at 38, and popped up above 43. $40 has been kind of a significant level there with the AMC. If we look back, it's kind of been, it poked its head above there a little bit a while back earlier in October, but otherwise it's been stuck under there for a while. So right now, if we open up above 40, can get past 44, I could see this one starting to run again too. Volume on AMC recently was 44 million yesterday, and this morning I think volume's up pretty big. We got 1 million in volume already, so yeah, I'm gonna be watching this one too. I think AMC, if I was gonna try to day trade, I would day trade AMC before day trading GameStop, just because of the low volume in GameStop. I mean, that's still ridiculously low volume, only pulling in 3 million, 4 million a day. But AMC will have enough volume to get where you can get in and out if you want to look for those entry positions and not actually just hold on to some shares. It should provide some nice liquidity to jump in and out. So that's my take on those two, and then I'll go over the option chain on those two right now too, because they both look like they're kind of set up for a gamma squeeze as well. GameStop looks a little bit stronger to me, but I'll show you guys that in a second. Let me see who else jumped in here. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Good morning. Shrimply, Pete, Dennis D, Dan, what's going on? NXTD wild ride yesterday. So that's the other thing too. Like, I always talk about how I have fun doing this stream. It also helps me get prepared to trade for the day. Yesterday I woke up late and I ended up not really trading all day. Just because I didn't have a watch list going, anything like that. But damn, NXTD was at 8, it looks like. Was that pre-market action? Damn, it fell all the way back down to 4. Turks, what's up? Says all the miners did great yesterday. Hut, Mara, Riot, and then huge manipulation on Greed. Did not see car coming. Yeah, so I noticed Hut. I think I might have even saw you tweet about it. That's where I saw it. But that's all-time highs again yesterday, right? And even that was previous all-time highs. But it hit 16 in after hours. Hut was definitely popping. But the two big ones yesterday was car, right? And I think that was really just a beat on earnings, and probably, I would imagine, I didn't see this coming, and this thing just, it ran from 180 up to 545. It's shit, and it's still it's dropping off a little bit now, 316. But yeah, that was pretty crazy yesterday. And then the other one was, like I said, BBBY. And who knows, this may have caused the after hour spike in a lot of the memes. Don't get me wrong, like GameStop, if we zoom out, was already having a decent day, from 190, already looking to close at 208. But this spike right here, what we saw in a lot of the memes, um, I think maybe could have been caused by BBBY. So basically, Bed Bath and Beyond announced like a share buyback, and they already had pretty significant short interest in the company, and we're kind of facing, market manipulation and all that kind of stuff. Um, but when they announced that, you started seeing this little catalyst that started moving. This, to me, this covering right here, or share price jump. If you have institutions who are short, I remember talking about this a month ago, even when AMC popped to 70, and then CLOV saw a similar spike around the same time. It's like, um, really what I think what could have happened is you see this spike in Bed Bath and Beyond, and because of margin requirements and everything else, now all of a sudden you see you know people who are short Bed Bath and Beyond have to cover there, but they're probably having to cover some of their other positions, and that's why you might have seen all of these spike together. That's just my theory. Pete also says BBBY partnership with Kroger too. So yeah, I think there was like three different announcements yesterday, that I saw on that one. But you know, that's another one I'll be keeping an eye on today as well. Regardless, just looking at in terms of day trading, and that's why I said I'm just going to be keeping an eye on the memes because normally we look for stocks that are getting increasing volume, right? And then if you see one that's gapping up for whatever reason, we talked about this before on the day trading standpoint, like it could try to fill the gap down and then reverse, and now maybe you could jump in and ride it from 20 back up to 25. Maybe it just continues to fall, but if it, what you're looking for is it's probably going to come down and then reverse. But the reason I'd rather trade these meme stocks today as opposed to the other ones is they have the ability to keep on moving, right? Another one that got some action this morning. It's kind of a retail favorite is OCGN. Looks like it's meaning that one's been running for a while too. So it's going to have some nice volume in it this morning. It looks like already 7 million traded, and it's starting to run a little bit. That one's got some news behind it. WHO granted emergency use listing to Covaxin. Yeah, so OCGM might start running probably even more than that. Shit, I just saw that news earlier. It was that they had a partnership tweeted that the Central Drug Standard Control Organization approved an extension of shelf life. But yeah, this is that's some really significant news right now at 511. Just dropped a couple minutes ago. And I'm gonna grab something real quick. Hold on. All right. Well, I'm gonna give OCGN a window here because I just jumped in, which is probably a little premature, and now I'm already down. But I grabbed some shares at 1750 just in case this thing keeps running, and that's so far away from the 9 EMA. Who knows what's gonna happen here? But yeah, let's do it. All right. So let's see here. So I got OCGN going right now. Damn. Yeah, that thing's moving right now. So um right, so GameStop, AMC, CLOV is another one. I'm just gonna be keeping an eye on this down here right now. CLOV is another one that we saw on Monday. This nice big run. I think that was like 4%, 5% gains. 750 on Friday we closed, and we got as high as 784. Hit 790 in pre-market yesterday. I was still sleeping for that. I didn't see any of that action, but this sell-off at the opening was pretty brutal. Came down and I think got back to the 750 level. Even touched as low as 743 before recovering a little bit yesterday. But then in after hours, it didn't see the same spike that those meme stocks saw, but we did see a spike around the same time. Got as high as 773. Looking to open here today around 762-ish, probably right back where we closed. But we talked about CLOV a little bit. Hold on one second. All right. I just got out of half of my OCGN. And I'll sell the other half here if it drops down below the 9. But otherwise, I think it's still going to run. I just wanted to try to lock in some profits because that thing popped up almost over $1. Actually, yeah. If I was watching that a little bit closer, I probably would have got out like probably here the whole thing. But I ended up exiting. I'm gonna wait for it to bounce back off the 9 and get a better entry. So not bad though. Yeah. All right. Back to what I was saying. So I'm out now. Sly Dev, what's up? Good morning. Michael reminded me to drink some coffee. What's up? Good morning. So CLOV, I really expect that as we get closer now, we got 3 more days left this week. This is pre-earnings week. I kind of have the expectation that we're going to creep up a little bit. I know max paying for the weeks at 750 again, but I don't think they're going to pin us there. And I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. I don't know that the incentive is really there to pin us at that level either. Like, I mean, if you look at the IV right now on CLOV is 89%. At some point it's like, I guess there's always going to be an incentive because max pain's where you're going to make the most amount of money, but it's not we just had OCGN up over here and it looked like the IV on OCGN was like 260, 283, percent. That's something that I would think would be more, give off more incentive. Hold on. All right, I'm back in OCGN. 1742. I'm just gonna see if this thing bounces off the 9 EMA. Nope. Premature. All right. See, I'm getting distracted over here. Um, Risky Seed says, "Have you looked into SBEA? No options. Think it might have a future run." Let me see. SBEA. I have not. I know we were talking about that. Um. Oh wow. Noir says, "Are you buying these with stop losses?" No, that's what's hard about trading in pre-market is there is no stop losses. So you got to use mental stops. That's why I'm kind of distracted right now because I just have my order window up over here to my right, and so I'm kind of like selecting what I want to buy for. You got to put it in as a limit order. I'm getting filled, and then um, yeah, I mean I gotta have my own stop loss on. So um, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this SBEA. Let me see here. Oh, that's the Black Rifle Coffee Company. I saw something about that the other day. I actually saw quite a bit, like people tweeting about that and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know anything about that one, but I'm gonna write that one down. All right. I just got out of OCGN for a loss. I'm gonna stop day trading or trying to day trade right now during the stream. Um, so and I'll just keep it over there. I'll jump in pre-market. Usually I do better. I mean, once the market opens, when I'm able to sit back and focus. But all right. So GameStop, AMC. We talked a little bit about CLOV this morning. I would expect CLOV is going to break above max pain. That's my expectation, at least, is that we're going to get above 750. We're already there, but at least hold it. I talked about on Monday. I think we're probably going to see like $8, maybe even 850 by the end of this week, just because there's earnings on Monday morning, right? And it's like Monday morning we're gonna that before the market even opens. Anyone who is still wanting to get into the stock, I think that is going to try to do it before the earnings. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a build up into that. This might be the week that we break max pain, and then start rolling above it. But also on top of that, you know, I think regardless of where we're trading at, we will see a dip on Monday. I mean, we've always seen it. Like, no matter how good earnings are, we're probably going to see some sort of dip and attack right after their release, and then kind of a pullback from there. So that's my expectations. I mean, there's so many things, positive things that can come from earnings, and I don't think that there's too much negative. I mean, the way the company's been trending, if MCR rises and goes up, that would probably be the biggest negative. But other than that, I'm not expecting much in terms of, like we're not going to see in the earnings release what's going on with open enrollment. That's going to be more on the guidance side. So, um, yeah, I'm still pretty excited about it though. I think Monday is going to be huge. We might see a little bit of a dip right away, but I think we'll start to see a nice rally moving into Monday, and probably the rest of next week. That's what I'm hopeful for, at least. So that's CLOV, GameStop, AMC. We talked a little bit about BBBY. The other one that started moving yesterday too, BlackBerry. Saw a little bit of a spike. Okay. Um, Along with those, I was looking at the option chain on BlackBerry, and it doesn't look as intriguing as, IV's pretty low. But BlackBerry doesn't look anywhere as set up as AMC and GameStop to continue running today. And I'll show you those option chains and what's going on with those in a second. But like I said, all of these look like they have the ability to start to move. They're all kind of spiking together. I know KOSS also saw that similar spike yesterday around the same time. I think Naked did as well. So kind of the same names. It's like which one I didn't look at was Nokia. Nokia kind of fell off. I don't think the floats on these are just too damn big too. BlackBerry's got a pretty big float as well. Let me see here. From what I remember, it's about the size of AMC. It just doesn't have the same type of volume behind it to help move it. But then my other one, the play that honestly I do feel very highly about is PROG. PROG right now, maximum pain is, I don't think it's changed from Monday, $2.50. It kind of has been trending downwards recently, but we've seen this in, let's pull this up. We've seen this after every pop where it kind of comes back down and consolidates. This before the last run up, I mean, shit, it almost gave back everything in that first pop before it started running again. And we just saw that again yesterday. I mean, it dipped down to like 285. Kind of touched on this 20 EMA and then rallied back above $3. Looking at PROG's option chain, you can see what the update is on that. These numbers are just ridiculous, and they continue to grow. And it's already in a position to where, like one of the things when you want to get to like a gamma squeeze potential is you want to have some of these calls outweighing puts, but already in the money. And I mean, shit, we have that going all the way back to the $2 strike, where the 2, the 250, and the 3 are all kind of deep in the money. So, this 350 yesterday when it started rallying back, I don't know if anybody was watching the stock. PROG was one that I had my eyes on early until the meme started moving a little bit, but it came up and tapped 350, and that's where it saw. I mean, there was a ton of resistance on level 2 there. I think if we can see this type of run again today and then blow past 350, looking at the options chain the way it is, I'm expecting this one to probably start running today or tomorrow. It seems like if history repeats itself in the chart and what's been going on with it, like I said, run up, consolidation, run up, consolidation, run up, consolidation. Now we've kind of had this consolidation going on a little bit longer. But like I said, it also popped up and now it held like above the 9 EMA. I would think that it's ready to break out of this little wedge here and start its next run. So that's what I'll be looking for today. I'm still holding PROG. I think PROG has the greatest potential for a squeeze right now out of all these stocks with high reported short interest. And I say that because like GameStop, AMC, some of these other ones don't have the high reported short interest. But we're looking at still 38% of the 38% short interest, more than half of their free float on loan. Cost to borrow still high. It's 156 on average today. Utilization at 99. So it kind of has all those fundamentals going for it, and it's trading well above max pain. We did see a little bit of an uptick in volume yesterday, with 58 million compared to only 34 and 35 million the previous 2 days. Again, my expectation is that PROG is going to get ready for its next jump here. And again, with the float size at 100 million, 129 million, these are some crazy numbers. And we've seen what happens with these gamma squeezes, like with BKKT, when it started running, and some of these other ones. I think once this thing grabs hold and starts moving, we're going to start seeing this thing this time around because this chain has been loaded up even more from the last pop. I think we're going to see this time it kind of run all the way through. That's my expectation, at least, is that once this thing starts moving, we're going to see it get probably blow out above 750. I think it's the chain at least is primed up for it, but it's got to kind of get past that 350 strike. Maybe even get upwards of 4, and then things will really start to pick up. So yeah, I still think PROG is probably the most potential right now out of the non-meme stocks, if I had to put it that way. But I'm going to be watching the memes pretty closely as well. Josh says, I hope you're right. I haven't sold my $3 calls. I actually, so yesterday on that dip, when it came down here, I went in and bought, I didn't buy the bottom. It was probably somewhere even in here. Once it dipped down, I grabbed a bunch of 350 calls yesterday. So, yeah, I don't think this rally's over at all. Now, when I will start thinking that it is, again, and I probably will hold until this point too, but Max Payne's 250. If it gets it down to 250, or yesterday started getting close, but if we see that drop and it gets to 350 or 250-ish, I would say it's over. Because at that point, that's kind of my whole theory on a lot of these is once they can get it to Max Payne, your run's over. And we've seen that with BBIG. We saw it with SDC. We saw it with Ader. We saw it with so many of these other ones. And so, the reason that I like PROG right now, aside from all the other Ortex data, which so many other stocks have, is that it's above Max Payne. And which, as long as it stays there, it has the ability to keep running. So that's what I'm looking at least. Risky Seed says, Coach, gotta thank you in stream. All my funds tied up in CLOV. Started Friday with $50. Played PROG, MAT, SEAH. 1 or 2 contracts would sell even if I made $15 this morning. Nice. It's sitting at $97. 5 free shares of CLOV and 2 PROG calls. I like it. Yeah, well, I'm glad it's working. And then matter of fact, I might as well pull up what's coming up on my scanner this morning too. But really, the only new one that popped up was OCGN. So the only one that I also saw on the scanner this morning, and then I'll talk about some other stocks or any questions or whatever. But FGF came up this morning. Was as low as 457 yesterday. Came up and hit 927. I think right at the beginning of pre-market, and now it's trading back down. So there should be some nice volume in this stock today. It's already at 2.4 million, and the float size on that one is 5 million. So extremely low float stock. Look at where it's at right now. So 6.6 is where the highest it got yesterday, and it looks like right now it's trading right around here, 640-ish. So if it could break above there, I don't see any real any real resistance up here until probably like 999, and that looks like it might be the all-time high, at least in the last 3 years. So this one's got some nice runner potential. I don't know why this thing's running. Let's see here. Closing a public offering, but that was back on the 28th. Yeah. It's moving though. So other than the meme stocks and all those, the one that I'll be watching today is FGF as well. But let me see what's going on here. I'm going to put OCGN up here because that really looks like it's going to be the big one today. I'm just not going to trade it right now. Although this would be probably my entry point, is now we're getting that 9 crossing over the 20 again. Looks like it bounced off the 50. It's back above VWAP, like somewhere in here. Would probably be my entry point, but I'm done trying to day trade during the stream right now, at least for the day. So options chain. I was talking a little bit about it earlier with like GameStop, for instance. Let me pull this up. So max pain right now is 187.50. And this is just for this week. You know, you look at the open interest and it's not too crazy. I mean, GameStop's got like 100 million float. You know, 5,000 calls. Like that's not too wild. But when you look at the entire chain, you know, it does significantly ramp up. That goes up to 420. Where we at? Let me pull up Tradie Ticks real quick. But when you look at the entire chain for GameStop, it gets pretty wild. This view is kind of messed up because there's these 136,000 50-cent puts, but this chain goes all the way up to 950. Okay, and I know these numbers are tiny, but they are pretty significant when you start looking at like the $200 call has 11,000 calls, as opposed to only 2,000 puts. So for 100 million float throughout the entire chain, there is quite a bit of open interest here, and especially once you start getting above like 300. Tons of bullish option flow came in yesterday. A lot of unusual orders. You could see, you know, a lot of them even for this week. We started seeing 200, 205s, 210s. And right now the stock is looking to open up above that. So I think it's really starting to build up like a gamma ramp. And you could see here this gamma exposure is at 15 million. I mean, just to put that into perspective. So what that means is for every 1% move in GameStop today, 15 million worth of shares need to be hedged. Okay, so you know, it's it to me, this one has the ability to really start to take off, and if it does, I think the mark's going to be around $250. But if GameStop can get above there, I think it's going to hit a gamma squeeze. Now, who knows with all the bullshit that's been going on in that stock, I mean, for months, if they'll allow it to gamma squeeze. I'm sure they have some other, you know, some tricks up their sleeve to try to saw it off. But my expectation is, if we see some more volume today and continue to go up and, you know, get back up to this 220 level where it was at in after hours yesterday, I think we're going to start to see like a gamma squeeze pick up. And so that's what I'll be watching. Let me put CLOV on up here too, since there we go. And then if we look at AMC, max pain on that one right now is, where we at? I want to say it's $36. Yeah, $36 on AMC. Doesn't have quite the same setup for this week. You know, and also keep in mind the float size is 5 times bigger, so it takes a little bit more to move it. That's just for this week though. I like looking at Tradie Ticks a little bit better. Let me look at this one. There we go. And again, the gamma exposure here, that's pretty damn high. You know, not as high as GameStop's, but for every 1% move in AMC, $10 million worth of calls need to be bought, or worth of shares need to be bought. You know, and then if we look at like kind of the option chain here, we can actually see this visibly a little bit better because It doesn't have that insane amount of puts like GameStop had, but after this $40 strike here, you're looking at 93,000 calls going the money at 40, which we're trading above that today, versus 25,000 puts. So those are still pretty significant numbers. Kind of a drop off here after 50, which may be problematic, if this thing does start running. But the other thing that AMC always has going for it once it gets moving is the FOMO factor and just the visibility of it. Like if AMC starts spiking again today and runs 5%, 10%, how much more FOMO is going to come kick in and people piling into it that could help it get past those little dips in the chain. So it wouldn't shock me to see either one of these take off and continue to run today. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye on. I'm going to buy some AMC calls at the open today, while IV is somewhat low. Okay, I mean IV right now on AMC is 118%, 130%. That's high, but that's low for AMC. Same thing with GameStop. We're looking at 128%, 100%. That's somewhat low for those stocks. I mean, usually they're way higher than that. So if it is going to run, to me, this is when I would want to buy call contracts, is now while the IV's low enough. So that's what I'll be looking for this morning. Louis, what's up? Good morning. Zeke for Bleak, what's going on? Let me see here. I lost my option chain. Where'd it go? All right. Just looking around at some of the other stocks right now. And nothing else is really moving this morning. Let's see. David said, could it be the old option trap? Yes and no. I mean, I don't know. I feel like GameStop and AMC and some of these meme stocks, they act so erratically, right? So it's like if they start running, they're gonna run. I mean, we've seen it twice now with GME and a couple times with AMC as well. And the last big run for AMC in June was, I mean, shit. That was, where previously AMC was running from. Let me see if I could pull this up real quick. Let's just look at the daily chart here. Prior to June, you had the January pop to 20, and then the two times it ran after that, in February it came up, got blocked at 14, and then it was sitting down here around $9 again in May. Kind of got blocked over here at 14 again. It looked like, but those were like runs that were, I mean, happened twice. Then all of a sudden this thing kept running and hit a high of 72, shortly after that. Every time it crossed this 50, we've seen a little bit of a spike, 42 up to 52. Not so much last month. But if all of a sudden we're looking right now that AMC is about to pop back above here, I mean, I think there's at least room to run up here to 52 before hitting. And the one thing about options is if you're going to trade options, you got to take your profits, right? And I've talked about that so much. Like I can see right now, Zeke is saying, "What are you thinking about AMC?" I was looking at $60 calls. So the way that I would play it is, And this kind of goes right to my point. So even if you were going to go with the $60 call, let's see here. That's not bad at all. 0.25 delta. It's giving yourself enough time, 44 days, so that if this is a run that's happening right now, you can be a part of it. But the way you got to play this, in my opinion, is by multiple calls. So let's just say, I'll just use 10 as a number. If all of a sudden we see, AMC spike up even just to like 50, what's going to happen at that point is you're going to see this IV over here probably jump up to like 240%, which is going to make these calls, and not to mention the thing goes up to $50. Who knows? These things might end up being worth $8 a piece or something like that. I'm just off the top of my head. So that's a 400% gain. At that point, I would be selling half my calls, even if I have full belief that this thing's going to run to 72. And the reason you got to do that is to lock in profits, okay? Especially with options, because, they can expire worthless, right? It's not like shares. So, and if you don't want to sell half, whatever you want to sell, it doesn't have to be exactly the way I'm saying, where sell half or whatever, but lock in profits. If you get some sort of spike like that, 400%, you could sell a quarter of them, and now you're playing for free with the rest. And so now if all of a sudden it gets stopped at 52 and you end up holding and it reverses on you, at least you're not losing any money. But then if it blows past, you still have 75% of your calls or half your calls for the big move. And that's the way you kind of got to play it. So like with GameStop yesterday, what I actually did was I went with, where was it? And this is really short dated. But I already have a ton of shares. This was just to kind of get some extra lotto tickets in, right? And so I went with the 300 call. Hold on, let me look at my account. Yeah, it was the 300 call. So I grabbed some of these here yesterday, and kind of what I'm looking at is the same thing. If all of a sudden I see IV spike over 200%, if GameStop doesn't even, it doesn't even have to hit 300 for me to sell this. I'm just banking on it moving in the next couple of days. So if and I'll pull up the daily on GME right now and kind of show you the same type of thing. I mean, it could very easily get stopped out at 231 right here, where it's found resistance last time. But if it actually gets up to 231 and we're going to see more option buyers come in, those calls that I bought are probably going to be worth about 4 times what I bought them for. And at that point, I'm going to sell a quarter of them, and take my money, my initial investment off the table so that I could ride for free. But you got to kind of have that mindset. You can't go into, I mean, you can, but you can't, you shouldn't go into like with calls, naked calls like that. And like thinking, okay, I'm holding for the big play or nothing, like all or nothing, because more often than not, those will expire worthless. You got to go in with the mindset of, I'm trading volatility. If I wanted to, get into this as like a long term, I'm holding this until it squeezes type of deal. I mean, buy shares by all means. I wouldn't look into leaps or anything, because you're just going to be paying so much for them. What do you think about FAMI? Read something about them trying to stay on the NASDAQ. Huh. I don't know much about it, I gotta be honest. Other than that's a name that keeps popping up on scanners and things like that. But it's like it started running again this morning. 35 cents, back down to 0.33. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about this stock to give any sort of a. What's up, Present Minds? Good morning. Prakash says LMD launched new car insurance. Is that one moving? Oh yeah. You know who else? And I haven't checked on this in so long. So it looks like LMND's moving a little bit this morning. RKT. Yeah, still nothing going on there. I haven't looked at this one in a long time, but actually, it looks like maybe it's on a little bit of a streak coming up off $15. But just another insurance company, and I really like Rockets. But that's another one that I think has just been heavily manipulated. Them and UWMC. But yeah, LMND looks pretty decent. Don't know enough about this, but I mean, where you're looking at where it's at right now, just from a swing trade perspective, I'd have to look at the fundamentals of it and everything. But if all of a sudden it crosses above this 50, or even if you wanted to look for an early entry point in there, being that it's trading so low right now, who knows though? Because it's about to gap. It's about to gap up to here. I wouldn't mind looking at some 115 calls. Huh. Where'd my option chain go? Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, I kind of like that. March 115s. Again, I don't know nothing about. I'm just looking at the chart and looking at if this thing starts moving. At least making a run to the previous highs back here. I also got this. I don't know if I have the login. Let me see. There's this company called Olive Invest. I know I'm getting off topic, but I don't care. We're having fun. Coach B stocks. Where's my thing at? There we go. And password. All right. So there's this company called Olive Invest that actually gave me a free trial of their. They have like this options thing, and I haven't. This is the first time I've showed it on there, but I've looked on there. So like you could type. It's pretty crazy. You could type in like anything. So let's say you wanted to go LMND, and it'll give you a ton of different options ideas. You know, where are we at? So you could look for something with a cushion, more cushion to the downside, with less ceiling or whatever. But let's just click on one. So this one looks like 12% cushion to the downside, 97% gains. And then you come in, it kind of breaks down how it's going to do it. Preview the order. Let's see if that pulls up. Oh, here we go. So then it gives you a trade idea with options, right? So it's saying like, to buy 2 calls, January 20th expiration to 2023 at the $70 strike, sell 2 calls at the 130 strike, sell some puts at $60 puts, and then also $65 puts. So all in all, with your premiums returned and everything else, it would cost you about $11,000 to make this trade. And then it breaks down like what your losses could be, what your gains could be, everything, and I also like, so it's giving you a 12% cushion to the downside, or 13%, 58% win probability, where your ceiling would be at. Like, I mean, this is a pretty cool software I've been playing around with. just looking for like kind of creative option strategies, and you can go through there and you know, really break it down by what kind of ceiling you're looking for. You could use it as a scanner to search for like different option strategies. So that's one that I've been looking at for a while now. And I might actually play around with that and look for something on LMND because I do like the way, just glancing at that chart, the way that looks, if it's ready to kind of break out on another run. Let's see here. Scotty, what's up? What's going on? Scotty's at the American Nightmare. Had to pop in and say good morning to Coach. David says, "Did you go over PROG yet?" Yes, I did. Max Payne's at 250. You know, saw a lot of resistance yesterday at 350. I think market makers are trying to push this down to 250. At that point, I think it's over. If it gets to 250, they're going to be able to, like, that's when they're going to pull out all the stops and pin it below there. But until that point, I'm holding. And I'm adding. Yesterday, I bought some 350 calls. We're somewhere in this range. I'll be looking to. I think it's ready for another pop, and I think the option chain is loaded enough so that if it does start popping, we're gonna see this thing probably fly this time to like maybe 750, which would be blowing out the chain. So that's where I'm at. But again, if it does get pinned down below 250, which is highly, I mean, yesterday they got it down to 285. I'll probably get out. I think my cost basis on the shares right now is around 220. So I know it would suck to kind of give up all this profit that I'd be losing out on, but I think it has potential to go much higher. So I'm willing to hold it down to there. AMC is starting to move a little bit. AMC also has earnings on Monday, along with CLOV and PROG. So that's the other thing with PROG is with their earnings coming up on Monday. I don't know. I think maybe it could even be that we have to wait for that catalyst for it to make its next leap. But I think we're gonna see something before then. Let's see. Danny did it. What's going on? Thomas O'Connell. Fluffer, what's up? Good morning. Let's go. JJ says Ghost was tweeting out a storm last night. I don't even know. I wasn't even looking at Twitter yesterday. I got off football practice and I watched the end of the World Series. I don't know if anybody caught that, but the Braves won the World Series. I think it was the first time since 95, 96. I don't remember. The Braves are one of those teams, and I think everybody can kind of, anyone who watched baseball growing up, at least in my age group or older, back in the day, you could only watch the Braves for the most part. They had to deal with TBS, and so I think everybody for who watched baseball to some degree kind of has that a little at least a little bit of memories of watching them growing up and stuff. So I mean, shit, I remember you used to have to pay to watch Giants games. There was a while where baseball was on pay-per-view, but anyways, so no, I was happy for the Braves last night. Michelle, good morning. JJ says, Coach, you out on Ader? Yes. So I think I made a video. I'm pretty sure that might be the last video I've made, like besides live streams. But I did that ATER update, and basically it got pinned below Max Payne, and now I'm just kind of watching it. So I exited It's been a while. I know I said it in the video, but I think I got out once it dropped down somewhere in that $9 range. Took a little bit of a loss on it and just exited. And I'm glad I did too, because I mean, shit, it's down to 6. I still think Ader has potential, but I think it's gonna probably trade sideways for a little while until you know IV drops a little bit, and it gets back in, where it's ready to make its next run, consolidates and everything. Like if we pull it up, and I mean SDC and even BBIG, I feel like are in the same boat. Great potential, but where they're at right now, I don't want to touch them until I see them break back above max pain. Where we at? 20% short interest. Cost to borrow still decent. Utilization's dropping. So I mean, shit. Looks like Ader's starting to lose a lot of that stuff too. So maybe it's not as great of a play now. But yeah, I'm not even gonna be looking back at it until I see it break above some of those things, and it seems like that's just the way they do it, right? Like once they get it down to max pain, they just sit there and manipulate it and whittle away at the short interest while making money selling calls. AMC really starting to move now. So it says Ghost tweeted about LMD last night too. Yeah, I just wasn't looking at Twitter. He's probably, if it's running right now. I'm gonna text him real quick. Watch. I went to go text him, and it looks like he's saying, "Is BBBY moving again?" Oh yeah, looks like it's ready to. And AMC, is that kind of line up with when AMC started moving again? 5:30. I texted him with LMND, and he said I alerted that on Twitter last night. Let's put that back up. JJ Ghost tweeted about LMND last night. Yeah. He's been on fire right lately too. Ghost has. I mean, he's been calling out. I know Hut's one that he was on for a while. Turts included. Been on some of those mining plays. And yeah, I could see LMND. I like it as a potential swing, just like I said, just looking at that chart when I pulled it up. But I might play around with that Olive Invest thing later and find some options plays to pull up on that. So anyone who's joining late, because I know we're getting closer to the 6:30 mark too. Just kind of a quick recap. For me today, I'm just gonna be looking at these meme stocks. I think they're gonna provide the most potential to day trade. Not looking to day trade GameStop only because the volume's so damn low in that one. But I think AMC's volume, BBBY's volume, let's look at BlackBerry too. BlackBerry saw the same type of pop yesterday too. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility in a lot of these. On top of that, I think like AMC and GameStop probably have the most potential to really take off gamma related. I went over a little bit. 15 million, I think, gamma exposure in GameStop. I think 10 million in AMC. A ton of bullish money flowing into it. And I think if these things can continue to run, GameStop and AMC probably have some potential to go back and test. With GameStop, I would say 350. With AMC, man, that thing's a beast. I wouldn't surprise me if it started running and going even higher. When it gets momentum, it goes. So I'll be looking at all those today. And the one non-meme stock that that I think I'll be watching as well that we talked about a little bit. Well, OCGN is on the list. And yeah, it's continuing to move this morning. And then FGF. I think where it's at right now, if it continues to move, yeah, it's looking to open up here. Not a lot of resistance levels in here, and I think it can maybe jump up to these all-time highs. And who knows, with the float the size of theirs, I think it's a 5 million float, and we've already seen 2.5 million traded, half the float being traded. If that continues, it's already looking to put more volume into it right now than it had in it yesterday. Yesterday was 4 million volume. 2.5 million already traded today. I could see FGF probably getting up here and testing these all-time highs if it starts running. So definitely one to keep an eye on. And that kind of rounds out what I'm going to be watching today. OCGN, FGF, and all the meme stocks. Let me see here. I'm going to throw OCGN back up on the big one right now. There we go. Turt says NGAB D-SPACs on Monday. NGAB. These D-SPAC plays have been going wild too. Ghost is in the house. I didn't even see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there. All right. Yeah, Turks, I know you had a great day. I mean, Hut's been hitting all-time highs now too. So good days all around, man. We just got to keep it up. Hopefully CLOV will have its day at some point, which I think is coming pretty shortly. We got earnings right around the corner for CLOV, PROG, and AMC on Monday. All right, what time we got right now? 6:09. Damn, BBIG's taking more of a hit right now too. 467. Pull up this NGAB. I'm gonna check that one out real quick. So nothing going on with the chart. Trading right at NAV. Let's see here. NGAB. Embark partners with Luminar to accelerate commercial software as a service autonomous truck deployment. Okay. Transfer of listing to NASDAQ Global Market in connection with its proposed business combination with Embark. Let's see what's going on with this. These D-SPAC plays are like interesting too because of the share lockup and everything. You get like redemptions and everything. So the total float's at like 41 million right now. I'm gonna do some research into that today, see what I could find out about it. Faith, what's up? Good morning. Got everybody in here today. Let's see here. You guys talk. Oh, Gree. Yeah, Gree's another one too. The other play. I think I was texting Ghost about it last night. Was let me see if I got this right. Yeah, there it is. Big Five. So I was just looking around on Reddit and came across this one. Um, but Big Five Sporting Goods. Um, saw a little bit of a spike yesterday after the company announced a dividend. Um, but I was looking at the short interest on that one, and 44% short interest. Okay, a third of the float on loan. Utilization's up there at 90. Cost to borrow is not there yet, but it kind of has, and they have that special dividend, and I think the float size on Big Five right now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 20 million. So extremely low float. Special dividend coming out. Chart doesn't look bad at all. Recent highs of 37. Um, I kind of like this Big Five play as I was talking yesterday. IV on there is not too bad. I think we're at, let's see. You can come out here like in the January chain at 96%. Um, and maybe come in here and target like these $35 strikes somewhere in there, or even just go. I was even talking to Ghost about going like at the money, like get the $25 strikes for $6, but I'm probably gonna be opening up a play here this morning as well on Big Five, just because of with the dividend and everything else. I think you should see some a little 40% short interest is no joke, and it just got back above the 50. It looks like it's kind of has some momentum behind it. Even if it just pops back up here to like $35, where it's kind of been twice now, you get some good movement behind it. So, I would probably go January 25 strikes or 35 strikes. That's just me, but that's another play that I'm looking at right now. And then the other one that I know I've been talking about on here is AGC. And again, I'm just looking for like squeeze plays that are trading about above. Oh, Greg, it's a BGFV. BGFV. It's for Big Five. So that's this one right here. Um, and like I said, high short interest. But my big thing, what I've been looking for like these, in order to get into some as a swing trade. I mean, day trading, you could jump in and out of anything, right? But if you want to buy calls in something and hold them overnight, or buy, you know, shares in something and hold it overnight, I've been paying a lot of attention to Max Payne, and so with BGFV, Max Payne's 25. It's at 27 right now. So it just broke above Max Payne yesterday. And so now I'm looking at, okay, now I'll enter into a swing. Whereas before, sure, it's sitting down here at 23, 24, got the high short interest, but it was below Max Payne. Now that it's above Max Payne, that's when I want to come in and become a buyer. So potential squeeze play here. I would say with this new dividend offering and everything else, something that could happen sooner than later. So that's a play that I'll definitely be looking to enter. But like I said, this other one that I'm looking at is AGC. And the more I look into it, the more I feel like this is going to be more play out kind of like how VIH did. Okay, so VIH, is the one that turned into BKKT. This is a SPAC. Right now, it's trading $2 above NAV. We could see it fall all the way back to 10, which is where SPACs should be trading at. So it does present like a 20% downside. But I think the upside is tremendous too. So, right now it's trading well above max pain. Max pain for that is $10. If we look at the short interest and everything on this one, it's kind of in that same ballpark, 38%. Cost to borrow starting to rise. Utilization's already at 99%. On top of that, the CEO of this company said that he wanted to complete the merger in Q4, so that they haven't announced the date yet. But that tells me that we have a catalyst coming this month or next month, right? I mean, unless the CEO, something else, obviously anything could happen. The merger could fall through, whatever. But if that's what he's saying, that shows me that we have this potential catalyst in the coming 2 months, on a stock with high short interest that's above max pain, everything else that we just talked about, high utilization. And again, IV on the lower side. So with AGC, I'm looking more at like April probably, because if this happens, let's say at the end of the year in December, and then they have the merger and we have to wait a few weeks, I just don't want to be pushing it too close with this January one. So, but I think January might work too. Either January or April is what I've kind of been targeting here, and really anything. I would rather be a little bit lower. If I was going April, probably like these 16s maybe. If I was going January, probably the 14s is what I'm looking at, or even the 1250s, somewhere in there. But that's another play that I'll be kind of focused on here and starting to accumulate a little bit of, because while I think PROG is the squeeze that's going to move now, I think BGFV and AGC present some like opportunity in the coming months. Let's see here. OCGN still ripping. Tennis says win CLOV moon. Man. Hopefully next week we got our earnings coming up. I still think we're gonna see some I don't think we get pinned to max pain this week. I really don't. I mean, even if it's 755, I think we close above max pain this week. Just because earnings are right there around the corner. And I think we're going to see more buying pressure kind of continue to move in. Plus, CLOV has moved with these meme stocks. Sometimes there's days where it looks like they're just tied into the same algorithm. And if GME and AMC pop this week, I think they're going to pull CLOV up a little bit with some sort of spike, and then maybe CLOV runs next week. Or, if these two end up, having their run next week, maybe CLOV runs the week after that. That kind of seems to be, or that's at least what happened in June. And again, earnings right there, and AMC earnings on Monday too. I mean, I have no idea what's going on with AMC, what the expectation would be with earnings there or anything else, but I really don't think it matters. You give the AMC apes anything to be excited about, they'll pour some volume into the stock, and I think you're going to see it move. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Just trying to catch up on the chat here. All right. So GameStop, AMC, CLOV. There's OCGN. What's BBBY doing now? Was there a lot of dark pool volume on CLOV yesterday, or was that normal sell-off? I noticed a lot of short volume. So what I think happened, I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually looking at that before we started the stream this morning. And I'll tell you what I think happened. Let me get CLOV up here just so you can kind of see it. I mean, you saw this get hit hard later. And so, you see here, let me just pull this up. Put it on percent. So, dark pool volume 40%. Short volume 55%. If I had to guess, this was the short volume. A lot of it, is this stock kind of getting shorted to shit early on. And then once they got it down here, now you start seeing any sort of buying volume getting routed to the dark pool and kind of those type of games to kind of suppress it and keep it down. But that was a significant uptick on both, right? I mean, recent dark pool volume or short volume has been at least over the last week like 41, 36, 40, 35 percent, and then yesterday 55%, of short volume, while at the same time, dark pool volume 39%. That's kind of where it's been regardless, in the high 30s, low 40s, around there, at least for the last month. Let's see here. See you guys talking about skills. Yeah, I like skills. Just anytime you see a stock trading way down here, with these highs, depending on IV and everything, and again, this one just crossed over the 50 recently, starting to get some momentum. I mean, really, typically, I would like to have gotten in like here, but still, I think if you're looking long term on skills, IV's actually kind of high. Shit. Just because of the recent run up. Yeah, I might actually, if I was looking to enter into skills right now, I'd probably be selling puts and not buying calls. Just with if I'm looking for a long term swing, just because this IV is somewhat high. So like if you came in and just for instance, let's say here around like the $22 strike, if you're thinking it's gonna run up and you don't mind getting assigned, I was gonna come out to, let's say, January. You're still not getting. You know what? It's a great one for Olive Invest. Let's see what it has to say. We got time. We got 5 minutes. I'm still learning how to use this software, but they gave me a free trial on it to check it out. And let me see if I could figure this out. I'm still in. There we go. So if I type in skills, that's not bad. 39% cushion to the downside, but only 83% up. But that gives you a lot of cushion to the downside. You can see the more cushion you take to the downside, that's going to protect you, the less you're going to make in return. But these are all like option plays that will hedge you, in both directions. Let's just check out this one. Has the highest upside with a 19% cushion. Looks like, so they're saying buy the $15 call for January 23, sell the $30 call and get that net premium back. So now you're paying less, but also sell the $12.50 put. Yeah, and that's what I was saying with the IV right now. Selling puts might be a little bit more of a bullish play to take advantage of the IV, but not bad. And I can go over this. I actually was going to make a video about this when you kind of like buy a call and then sell one against it. It's kind of like a poor man's covered call. So essentially, instead of buying this call for $3 and paying $300, you're also going to sell the $30 call to somebody else and get that $1.45 back. So now you just reduced your cost to $1.50 on this call, but you cap your upside, right? So now, if the stock goes all the way past 30, you're gonna lose out on anything past 30. You're just gonna make the difference here, because now your shares would get called away. Is my quick explanation of how that works. So AMC, nice spike right now as we're getting closer to the open. Gamestop looks like it's kind of dead over there. I haven't seen it move in hell long. Let's get skills off here. We got CLOV here. I'm gonna go ahead and go AMC up here. We got GameStop, and I will move OCGN. All right, so anyone, I don't know how big this is, but as we kind of creep into the open, this is AMC, GameStop up top, OCGN right here in the middle, and then we got CLOV looking to open about 4 cents down, 756. OCGN is gapped up to 1740 on some significant news. I think this one might continue to run throughout the day. GameStop also looking to open up by $8 at 214. AMC opening up above 40, which could be significant for in relation to the options chain for that one. So should be an exciting day. I'm just looking around. Also, Bed Bath & Beyond and BlackBerry got some movement yesterday. Those are ones I'll be keeping an eye on. Yeah. Let's see here. But I am going to log off here at the bell, guys. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Sorry about yesterday. I snoozed through my alarm. Ended up waking up late, like super late. Almost late for work. But won't let it happen again, at least not anytime soon. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully celebrating another good day in the market, good day trading. And there's that opening bell. Let's see what we got here. All right. I will say this too. If anybody else, if you haven't joined the Discord, it's free. The link's down below in the video before we get off. I have been getting on there and participating a lot more recently. And so have a lot of other people. So it's really starting to pick up. That's the Stock Lounge Discord. And again, it's free. So if anyone does want to kind of like communicate throughout the day, throw out any runners they see, talk about, plays, swing trades, anything you guys might be thinking about getting into. I think it's could turn into a great resource if we continue to utilize it. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. See you tomorrow morning.